great honor to be with you, especially so early in what will be, I think, one of the greatest prime ministers. I think you will be one of the great, everything I know, from Shinzo and others, you will be one of the great prime ministers.
This woman is a winner in the history of Japan.
Thank you, Mr. President.
There are no easy assignments in geopolitics. Every meeting is a challenge, even more so if you're new to office. Things can be overwhelming and tricky to handle. Just ask Japan's new Prime Minister. Her first foreign policy assignment was to host Donald Trump. It does not get any trickier than that, and yet she pulled it off. No bad headlines, no testy exchanges, and multiple deals to boot. So how did Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi ace the Trump challenge? With a tailor-made strategy, she hosted Trump at a palace in Tokyo. The building is straight out of a Trump fantasy. Massive ceilings, gold-plated walls, and a military guard outside. It's probably everything Trump wanted. Once inside, the flattery continued. Takaichi and Trump watched some baseball together. After that, it was time for talks. One name dominated the early conversation, and that was Shinzo Abe, the former Prime Minister of Japan. He was a mentor to Takaichi. He was also a close friend of Donald Trump. Both leaders recalled their ties with Abe.
I often heard from Prime Minister Shinzo Abe about President Trump's dynamic diplomacy. You contributed to Asia's peace, including helping bring about a ceasefire deal between Thailand and Cambodia.
As you know, Shinzo Abe was a great friend of mine, and I was very saddened to see what happened. It was so shocking, but he spoke so well of you, even before we knew what was going to happen and your ascension.
So Trump and Takaichi found a common thread. After that, the praises poured in. Takaichi promised to nominate Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. She also urged closer cooperation with Washington. Her goal? To unleash a golden age of US-Japan ties.
In such a short period of time, the world has become more peaceful. I highly value President Trump's unwavering commitment to world peace and stability. I myself have been deeply impressed and inspired by you. In order to make Japan and the United States stronger and more prosperous, I want to work together with President Trump to build a new golden age of the Japan-US alliance.
And Trump reciprocated. He promised to do any favors for Takaichi. He said she was on course to be one of Japan's greatest leaders.
On behalf of our country, I want to just let you know, anytime you have any question, any doubt, anything you want, any favors you need, anything I can do to help Japan, we will be there. We are an ally at the strongest level. I think one of the greatest prime ministers. I think you will be one of the great, everything I know, from Shinzo and others, you will be one of the great prime ministers. I'd also like to congratulate you on being the first woman prime minister. That's a big deal.
That's high praise from Donald Trump. That too at a very early stage. Takaichi only took office last week. She's Japan's first ever female prime minister. And her politics? It's right-wing conservative. Takaichi wants to boost Japan's military spending. She's in favor of a tougher China policy. So there is strategic and ideological alignment with Donald Trump. And today, she aced the final piece of the puzzle, flattery. Takaichi presented multiple gifts to Trump. One was a golf putter used by Shinzo Abe. The other was a signed golf bag. It belonged to Japan's first golf major winner. At lunch, there was more appeasement. Japan served American rice and American beef to Trump. And why is this strange? Because Japan is known for its rice and beef. So why would they serve American items to Trump? The idea was to send a message to him, to assure him that Japan will buy American farm goods, even sensitive ones like rice and beef. During their talks, Takaichi also announced a big investment. It's being led by Japanese car giant Toyota. They will invest $10 billion in the US. The idea is to build plants all over the country. So let's rewind for a bit. Japan hosted Trump with flattery, American beef, baseball, and golf presents. Like I said, it was a tailor-made strategy. And what did Japan get in return? Well, they got a trade deal earlier this year. Trump had imposed 24% tariffs on Japanese imports. He later reduced that to 15%. But beyond that, Tokyo got some assurances. You see, these are nervous times for US allies. Washington is treaty-bound to defend countries like Japan, but no one knows if Trump will actually do that. And this is a worrying prospect for Japan. They're facing a growing nexus of Russia, China, and North Korea. So now, more than ever, Japan needs the US. Today's events highlighted that focus. Trump and Takaichi visited a US aircraft carrier in Tokyo. It is called the USS George Washington. Both leaders spoke to the troops on board the warship. Again, the optics stood out. Trump and Takaichi flew together to the carrier. While speaking, he wrapped his arms around the Japanese Prime Minister. He called the US-Japan partnership a foundation for peace in the region.
This woman is a winner. So, you know, we've become very close friends all of a sudden. The first female Prime Minister in the history of Japan. Madam Prime Minister. This woman is a winner. So, you know, we've become very close friends all of a sudden. Really, there's never been anything like it. Born out of the ashes of a terrible war, our bond has grown over 8 decades into the beautiful friendship that we have. It's a foundation of peace and security in the Pacific.
That was all meant for China. And rest assured, Beijing was watching. They're asking Japan to reflect on its history, basically reminding them of what happened during World War II. In conclusion, this was a trip of optics. It's a lesson on how to woo and appease Trump. But beneath it lies a risky strategy. Japan is gambling a lot to win Trump's support. They're investing some $550 billion in the US. This covers chips, nuclear energy, and cars. What if Trump abandons them despite this money? Well, that's the big risk that Tokyo is taking.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is First Post Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.